Hey everybody, it's time to go over chapter 12 of To Kill a Mockingbird. So make sure you have read the chapter on your own or using audio in class before you watch the video. So I just wanted to go over a few of my thoughts. The chapter starts by telling us Jim is 12, and we know this is pushing us closer to what was foreshadowed on the very first page of the book. On the first page of the book, Scout says, when my brother was nearly 13, he broke his arm at the elbow. So now that he's 12, we know that that is forthcoming. She says he's moody and has a huge appetite, so that's that. Dill does not come this summer. He writes a letter, says he has a new dad, but I can tell you we haven't seen the last of Dill. But, you know, this is one of the reasons that this summer will be less enjoyable for Scout. We have the trial coming up. Things are going to get really heated, but, you know, also no Dill. But he will resurface at some point, don't worry. Atticus leaves for the state legislature, and he leaves the kids with Calpurnia, and she takes them to church. So that's really primarily what chapter 12 is. At first, the kids don't really feel welcome because of one woman in particular named Lula, and Calpurnia tells her what's up pretty quick. And then after that, they do. They feel very welcomed there, and they're treated very kindly. They do notice that a collection is being taken up for Tom Robinson's wife, Helen, to help feed her family while Tom is in jail. So this definitely reminds Scout of the trial and what's going on, and the fact that she really doesn't know much about it. So after church, she does ask Calpurnia, what's rape? You know, or actually she starts off with, what exactly was Tom accused of? Well, Calpurnia says Bob Ewell accused him of raping his girl, and then Scout asks her what rape is, and Calpurnia pretty clearly, I think, is able to avoid really answering that question fully because she knows Scout's maybe a little too young to get that. When the chapter ends, you know, Jim and Scout ask Calpurnia why she speaks a different way at church than she speaks at home. And I don't really like what they call it, obviously. They say in talk, but what they're really referring to is Ebonics. It's just a different dialect of English, and she explains it to them. Well, if I went into my church speaking around my people the way that I speak in your house, they would think I was strange. You know, and likewise, when I come to work in your house with your dad, you know, and you guys, I speak a different way there. So I think that that's something important to note about dialect. It's just different patterns of language that we use within a different group of people. So, for example, I try to speak as academically as possible in class, but I might not talk the same way around my friends. And I'm sure that you guys understand that there are different contexts for language, similarly to how you might text differently than how you write a paper. So Calpurnia just explains that to them, that that's the type of dialect that is appropriate when she goes to church because that's who she's around. The chapter ends on a negative note, however, because they arrive close to their house. They're kind of down the street, and unfortunately, Scout sees her Aunt Alexandra standing on the porch, and that might mean Aunt Alexandra is coming to watch the kids while Atticus is gone. So, of course, Scout's not super duper happy about that, since Aunt Alexandra doesn't believe Scout is very ladylike. So that is really the gist of chapter 12, and we will talk a little bit more on the next one.